Hey everybody, it's Eric. I'm making a game. Every damn day I'm making a game. It's the same game. The game is called the Godkiller. It's a 3D top-down puzzle-solving adventure game. Where am I at with it? Well, I just showed you a screen. If you happened to be on a few seconds back, 23%. That's my best estimate of where we're at right now. Yeah, I'll show you what it's based on. I say I'm going to show you, but will I actually show you? Yes, come on please. I would like to show you. Oh, so much strangeness in my broadcasting setup right now. Let me fix a few things. Boom. And then just come out a little bit. There we go. Alright, so here's how I figure it. About a third of all the work is the engine. Another third of the work is all the content that goes into the engine. Art, music, sound effects, and the all-important levels. Okay? And the other third I split into two parts. One's business and one is the unknown. The unknown is just a box that shrinks as you get closer to release. But right now, I don't know what these tasks are. They'll just be something that I got to do, but I haven't planned on it. And some of the unknown will go into engine, some will go into content, some will go into business. Okay. So I'm not thinking much about content or business at this point. Definitely not business. If I was going to get into the business side, I would want to have a very strong demo to go out, so I'd be in a strong position to not just to negotiate, but to convince the other person that there was very low risk in working with me. So I've worked with publishers before, and I know I'm not at a good place to go out and talk to a publisher right now. I could, but the terms of my deal will be worse the further I am away from having a finished game. So, I mean, I even may not do anything with a publisher either. I mean, you know, just handle it all myself and just use distribution channels like Stream. Okay, so the engine, that's where the heat is right now. So I categorize all the different types of game elements and other types of features that I have into these little boxes. And I answered pretty honestly, how close is it to completion? These ones that are this dark green, those are 100% done. Except maybe for a few bugs and tweaks that I'll fix along the way. Okay, then it starts to go down a little bit. Blocks I'm currently working on, there's maybe 3 days of work left on it or something like that. Not even 3 days, 3 sessions. Sessions only 2 to 4 hours. And I'll be done with them and they'll be solid green. Not all of these blocks represent the same amount of work. Getting M to be 100% complete meant doing all the things with the player guide and the predictive analysis and all the animations. So something like M took me maybe 80 to 100 hours to get to 100%. Okay. Whereas something like the spikers, by the time I'm done, it's probably going to be maybe 5 days of work on them, something like that. Okay. So just going through these all, we've got M, all her movements and stuff, axles, the brawler, the A, which is I completed at 100% recently. That means putting in all the animations and sound effects and all the things beyond just its basic behavior. It has to look like it could be shipped before I say it's at 100%. Gates, I've finished putting in all the sound effects and stuff. Now I do have one little bit of work on them that I want to finish in this session that will put them back to 100%. They're like at 99% right now, if I'm really honest. Okay, the level exit, ice, the apple of infinite speed, which is really a level one-off. Normally I put under content, but I already finished it. So those background clouds, they've got a few bugs in them. I should fix those, and then I can put them at 100%. Foundations, that's all of the things like floors and stairways, and the depth scanning system, which checks all the heights of floors and ceilings. Recently there was a bug introduced into them, so I put them down underneath the dark green. I know I got to fix that bug before I can put foundations back up here. The level selector, pretty much done. I need to hook it into level settings and a few other things. Blocks, that I'm active on. I'm not going to use this session to continue on blocks because it's going to be a short session. I have an errand I've got to run in 2 hours and 45 minutes. 1 hour and 45 minutes. The God Hands, there's a little bit of work left there for... I don't know exactly what's left. It just feels like there's something left. A little bit of polish, a little bit of fit and finish. So yeah, Spikers. Yeah, these guys... I need to take the new character art I got from Isak and hook them up. But other than that, they're pretty much done. Procedurally generated decorations, or proc-gen decor. A few bugs in that, but it's so close to done. A lot of stuff is going to go up into the solid green in the next month. Like 4 or 5 of these. Let's say by the end of this month, I expect probably 5 of these to go solid green, 100% done. Okay, down here, there's things that have quite a lot more work. They're more around halfway done. Cosmetics, I just have to do a bunch of 3D modeling. It's actually fun, relaxing work to do 3D modeling. And I don't have to think as hard about it. I can just kind of create something. So I just need to make a few 3D models, meshes, prefabs that spruce up the level and give it some variety. Face animation, I don't have everything in there for playing back the face animation correctly. That's also tied into the death box. I imagine face animation and the death box will kind of be grouped together. The death box is a special area you go to in one of the levels the first time you die, where there's some character animation and music that plays. The heavy, similar thing to the Spikers, but because he's so large, he will need special case animations so that if he's in a more tightly enclosed area, he'll just tuck his arms in and squeeze in a little bit. So I'll be able to have a crowd of heavies all next to each other, and their arms won't like be going off into each other. So there's some extra logic with him. Bystanders, that's being able to create a lot of different NPC type characters that aren't attacking you. They're there for story purposes or background scenery to give the feel you're in a populated place. And I have models from Isak, and I want to make a system to have one prefab for a bystander and then just tweak properties inside of the prefab that will customize the look of the bystander. So I'll be able to have one prefab and just create a crowd really quickly with that prefab. Background scenery. When you look out past the confines of the playable space, there's things in the background, and I would like to add to that quite a bit so I can have it look like you're nestled inside of a city, and maybe some other things as well. The music engine, I haven't done anything on it yet. Well, that's not quite true. I have melodic sounds all over the place, and just playing through the level, it actually sounds musical. And there's stuff in there that will play all the sound effects in one musical key on the chromatic scale. So what I have left to do is, this is not to create the content, this is to create the code which plays songs. And that code should do more than just start a wave file playing. It should have certain points within the song that represent the start and end of different musical keys, and switch the musical key as you play through the song. And that will allow the melodic sound effects to always be playing in harmony with the song at the same time. Settings, just your basic settings screen. Just a thing where you can say, turn off these animations because I want a higher frame rate, or I don't want that guide thing, that thing that predicts what's going to happen when I step in a certain place. It just gives me information I already know. Little things like that, tweaking things. Volume for sound effect versus music versus speech. Okay, then when you win the game, or you win the first chapter of the game, this is all for a first chapter, then there should be some kind of nice ending to it. Something that makes you feel like that work that you put into playing the game and getting to the end was somehow not just a waste of time. It feels terrible to win a game and not have something nice at the end. Just like if it just says, "Thank you for playing the game. See you later," and then rolls the credits. That sucks. I've written some bang up end scenes, and it would hurt me if I didn't have a good one, and there will be a good one. Okay, content. It says it right there, but it's all. I'm not even going to detail it right now. I'm on the engine. So that's where I'm at, and I will do a demo. You deserve a demo. You, the person watching right now, you deserve something better than some jerk just talking to you about his plans. So let's do a friggin' demo already. Who the hell am I, anyways? Be telling you what's so great about my game instead of just showing it to you. Okay, that flurry of activity was the playback system used for recording commands and playing them back. So about 3 days ago, I created this, and I love it to pieces. First, it's just fun to watch. Everything happens so fast like that, like the world's fastest speed play. But it's quite useful. Whenever I get to a place where I've noticed a bug, and I wonder, how do I reproduce this? I just hit the D key on my keyboard, and it outputs a string of commands that I can copy and paste and put into a property of one of the prefabs. And then when I hit play to restart, it will recreate that whole sequence of commands. And a lot of times I take off the last command or the last few commands so I can get right before the place where the problem happens. And then it's easy to reproduce the problem, cuts lots of time off of bugs, and it's been glorious. Yesterday I solved like 3 bugs in maybe half the normal time because I was able to do this playback thing. There's actually one bug that I hadn't fixed for over a year. I'd seen it sporadically for over a year, but every time I saw it, it was hard for me to get it to happen again. So I just used the playback feature and was able to fix this bug that had been plaguing me for over a year. Okay, all these trails are now working without issue. Okay, and I was trying to show off the other day and combine in this demo blocks with letter gates. Letter gates are gates that have a word on them, and if you spell that word with the blocks, the gate will open. If you, conversely, if you break the formation of blocks that spells the word on a gate, that gate will open back up, become translucent, and you'll be able to walk through it. And I was trying to demo this because I thought it would be cool. It definitely goes with the block element. But there's an issue with syncing, and I can fix that issue. It won't take me long. And even if it does take me longer than expected, I think in my little budget of an hour and now maybe 30 minutes, I'll have enough time. So I'm aiming small, but there will be a nice little payoff in that you'll be able to see the letter gates working with the blocks. I've shown that before, but it's nice to see it again, particularly now that we have all these nice trails going with the blocks to make them more fun to push around. I'm also not done with the blocks. In this session, I don't think I'm going to do more, but I need to make an explosion effect. So like when you destroy a block, you can destroy a block by pushing it against the wall, and the trail makes it nicely go back to the block pad, and you can see that, but I wanted also to have some kind of particle effect that showed the block being destroyed at this point. So yeah, but anyways, in this session, let's get the letter gates working again with the synchronization. Did also make it so I could turn synchronization on and off. I should say predictions. So let me show you what predictions are, and then because it feeds into the gates. I forgot to turn off the playback. But it's still fun to watch, so. Okay, so you see these squares around the player. They predict what will happen when the player does certain things. So you can see here that if I go south, I'm going to land on the ground. There's also predictions of death. If I go here, I'm going to die because I'll go on that spikes there. And it does some stuff that's a little more advanced, like sliding across this ice to the spike. I'll die there. And if I had any enemies in the level right now, it would also predict their interactions in response to my actions and what events those might lead to, including pushing me or killing me. So how do I do this? I used to have some code that would go and see like what's going to happen here and then try to predict it. It got more and more complex, and I realized I was just recreating the main game code. So instead what I did is I created 4 copies of the game to run in the background, and when they finish running the results of a possible command that you could have performed, the code that displays this guide around the player looks at the state of each of those alternative games and puts appropriate iconography to show what will happen in response. So for that to work and not be allocating huge amounts of memory all the time, I created an interface to synchronize the data structures between the main game or the main logical game state data structure, which I call board, and the predictive boards, the 4 predictive boards. So everything that's on the board has got some code that says, without allocating any more memory, take the state of this block, this egg thing up here, the player, and copy it over into the pre-allocated data structure on the predictive board to synchronize the state between the 2 boards. Okay, that works like a champ. It's one of my greatest achievements in this game is getting that to work. And there's a lot of power behind it that I have not even tapped yet. But it requires me to write that sync code for every element that would be part of the prediction. And I didn't write that yet for the letter gates. So let us do that. Console ran clean. I always love it when I do a bunch of stuff in the session. I come back, I look at the console. No errors, no warnings. Cool. I don't think this is going to be hard. I think this is going to be easy. I know I'm like dooming myself to it not being easy by saying that, but I think it's going to be easy. Let's do a git commit. Tip for the newbies. Run git, even if it's just you. Why? Because it's like a time machine. You do git commits every once in a while, and if you want to revert a file back to a previous state, you can do it. If you want to look at a file at a previous state and then maybe do something with that code pulled into the more recent code, you can do that too. If there's some function you're not currently using and you've spent a lot of time on it, but you're not using it, you might never use it again, but you don't want to lose it, just do a git commit. Then you can delete that code, declutter your source code, but if you have to, you can come back and find it again. It'll be there in Git. Yesterday, I had some weird tweaky thing happen where one of the assets was doing something strange, and it only started doing that after I went into the prefab editor and did something that wasn't important. And because I had everything checked into Git, instead of troubleshooting that problem, I just reverted that one asset. It was all good. That would have been 5 hours of time versus 5 minutes of time to fix that. Okay, so this is what all the stuff I should put some kind of name to it. Wow, I haven't done a commit in a while. So I think this is mostly all related to trails for blocks. Yeah, run git local. It'll change your life. And it's also going to train you up to do git stuff with teams. You want to join an open source project or something? You want to get a job? You'll know git. It's good stuff to know. Okay, let's see. Let's go get me Lettergate. I said it would be easy, but it might not be easy. Well, I'd have to say it would be easy. It's got a controller. The controllers are difficult. Let me think about this. Alright, and then I'm dying of thirst. I'm going to be right back. I'll be right back. I promise. I'll be right back. I'm going to go downstairs just for a sec. Alright. Loud chair squeaking. Now I'm hot. No, people don't like to be hot. All right. Okay. Okay. Actually, I might be getting let off easy here. I was worried that there would be like a whole hierarchy of instances and shared data and stuff like that, and it's not the case. Let's call this serializable. Then trying to normalize my placement of different things in different sections, and I like my structs and constants to be up at the top. Then we got the class members, variables here, then my constructor, then some stuff related to serialization with this underneath, and then the syncable methods. Okay, so because these are read-only, I don't have to synchronize them. They will have been created with create copy, and they won't change after that. So it's a nice thing about being more specific about the use of the variables. You know, I don't have to think about as much. Okay. Say if I don't know what my earlier fetish was with this structs. Everything's got to be a struct. Okay. This kind of makes sense too. So I'm not saying that the members of controller data can't be set, but I'm saying that we should know controller data once. No, we can't know it. Okay, I'll do a debug assert and see if it's going to be true. So my assertion is that if the controller data in this class is non-null, then the controller data in the class I'm syncing to should also not be null. Alright. So I'm just trying to avoid allocating memory here. Oh, I gotta do the same thing with connected pieces. Oh, how many of these things are read-only? That's my question. Let's see. So maybe this is pretty much constant, or it's set one time. That would be cool, because then I wouldn't have to worry about continuously updating it. Alright, connected pieces. Yeah, that's a one-time thing also. Okay, cool. So, what we can do is write assertions that these stay the same. And if I find that's not true, then I can write code to sync them. This also feels like something that's set one time. But these, on the other hand, should change. This is a large chunk of stuff, so I'm going to refactor. I'll call it data just so it's... Alright, whatever. Let's see how this does. Cool. Really? Well, how did it get set before? Okay, remember how I was telling you Git was your friend? So just look at what the code was there before I just changed it. Okay, and I can see that I had it as a struct. And structs do have a property that you don't need to, you don't have to instance them. You don't have to say new. So that's how. So I'm thinking, why don't I do this? Now it'll always have that allocated. And there's too much comments here that are valuable to tuck off the side, so I'll put it back how it was, where it was more readable. This is always going to be true now. I think it's this has first letter, which tells you if it's the controller or not. Yeah. That was a good warning I got from Ryder. I have to give it some credit. Alright. Let me test. In the test, I'm going to have to add some letter gates. So I'll make one that'll be a little bit fun. Be a little bit of a puzzle to it. So we'll go letter gate east. So this is what it looks like when the gates open. That's not a good puzzle though. Hold on. Because they'll start out open, and I want to make a puzzle where it's your goal to make it closed. Say that you have to spell the word ABBA, named after the Swedish band ABBA. Classic Swedish pop. Whoever doesn't like ABBA, there's something wrong with them. Something really drastically wrong with them if they don't like ABBA. I don't know if I like them. Okay. Okay. So first we'll see if the sync works. I think it will. Got Maximate turned off. Let's get the console up. Just gonna hit play and let's see if there's any errors. Oh yeah, there's already errors. God damn it, God. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. I forgot. I got turn off all this. All right. What was the thing? Oh yeah, I understand this part. Hold on, be right back. I'll be right back. Okay, so the trick here is that some of these guys are just not going to be set. Okay. Oh, I can also do something like this. If not has first letter, well, let's see. I want the code to compile out, so I'll put it inside of here, and then in the player, this comparison won't be made. Let me see how it holds up with synchronizing. It's doing good. I think I might even go for a victory lap here. I told you this was going to be a short session. It will be short if I've got everything working without any bugs. It looks like I do. So I will demonstrate to you, the listener, how letter gates work. And they are fun. So I have to spell the word Abba to get this gate to close. If it's not closed, when I come up here, you see it's translucent, and I'll just drop down. Okay, so how to spell the word Abba. I can move these blocks around. They're not like normal Sokobun blocks. So you might think, I just want to push it just a little bit. Impossible. It's going to go all the way to the west. So you got to think more in terms of some anchoring point to build the word that you want to build. Some corner for things to line up in. So I've already done the southwest corner earlier. I'm going to see if I can do the northwest corner. Whenever you want to get rid of a block, you can push it against a wall, and then it returns to the block pad. And if there's more than one on that block pad, then they stack up on top of each other. Alright, so northwest corner is pretty easy. It was interesting, but it's continuing to close each turn Oh, it got done. Something's causing it to continuously close. Come up here, it doesn't do it. Down here it does. Up here it does. Oh, it's actually opening. It's opening each time too. Let me see if it's the prediction stuff that's messing it up, because this is a new bug. I can turn off the prediction and see if the problem's related. Alright, you don't get to maximize on play yet. That's for winners. Let's spell my ABBA. I'm gonna hit the D button right here. See, it saved a little bit of text down here. Well, it didn't save it, just output this text. But I can copy and paste it and use it to get to this state real fast. This is right before it could mess it up. Okay, it is something about the predictions. Because here it's working as expected. So to me that points to some kind of shared data structure between the main board and the predictive boards. Okay. Alright, so I can go here and I can put in my command playback, and then I can turn my predictions back on, and just to verify I can get a repo. Let's play it. This is almost certainly going to be shared data structures. In Godkiller, I've just got a static thing for a throwaway variable. Okay, let me work backwards from the effect. What opens and closes? It's called letter gate open and close effect. I'll stick with closed to start. Okay, right here. Okay, so this is in letter gate piece, okay. Close connected gates. Update for match. Make sure there's no static stuff up here. Let me check. So there's two things that could be happening here. And there's always more than what you think, but the two main things that could be happening here. One is the logic that determines whether or not the gate should close is getting affected by some shared data. The second thing that's possible is that the effect itself has some kind of shared data. So I think what I'll do is just try to narrow it down to start with. So if I say when does close get called, to set a breakpoint here, I think it'll get called multiple times. It could be wrong, but the call stack is going to tell me from where it's being called. If the call stack shows that the predictive boards are all doing close, and that's causing the repeated closing. Then that means one thing. If the main board is calling close multiple times, that means something else. Okay, so let's see where close is getting called from. I forgot to run the debugger. So I did kind of expect close to get called by the predictor. It didn't. That's weird. Okay, so now this is the main one. Hit play. This is still the main one. It's the second call to close. Third call to close. Fourth call to close. Weird. It got called 5 times, but not from the predictive boards. It's getting called again. I wonder if I made a mistake in my sync code. Maybe I'm syncing from... Maybe I'm syncing some of the data in the wrong direction. Let me double check that. So we go letter gate controller. Sync to. Sync yourself to this other thing. 2 is matched equal is matched. 2 is open equals is open. Okay. Am I calling it correctly inside of here? No, I got it reversed. Okay. Okay, that starts to make sense. All right. Okay. That makes much more sense. Oh my god. It's a relief. Because it was just starting to look like a really hard problem. It might just be just a little glitchy. A little glitch in my brain. And this should fix the problem I saw with the... Anyways, let's try it. You ever see a bug trying to do some bug thing and just feel sorry for him? Just crawling up a wall. I mean, I can see this bug going up my window. I think I fixed it. I think I fixed it. I think I fixed it. Okay. Let's put Ava up top. It's working. Okay. We shall do it maximized to celebrate a small victory. Are you ready to maximize your life? I'll put it up top over here so you can see it better. That's that. I think just for fun, I'm gonna try to make it over here, which I know is hard because I tried it earlier. Good. So I can't push this one up because it's up against the wall, but I can stick one more over there. Oh, doesn't work that way. What am I talking about? Okay, yeah, this was the hard part. Let me see. Okay, I think I can build like an area down there to use. No. No. Huh. I can get BBA down here pretty easily. But I have to get rid of the A here. Is it hard to get another A up here? look at that. That's a pretty good puzzle. I didn't even design that puzzle. I just threw some blocks down. It actually works. As a puzzle, it was actually reasonably difficult to solve. Now, if I wanted to have this little room enforce that more difficult solution, I'd have to fiddle around with these corners to make them bad for placing your stuff in it. I could do that by putting pits down here. Anyways, you get the gist. Do you see an issue where the camera's not going underneath the letter gates? I'm just going to make a comment on that. I think that goes under a certain category. Call it traversal. Starting to categorize all these things under I got that. It's done. Alright, this is just bookkeeping. I don't like to end on a bookkeeping note. Okay, so what was that last thing? Camera doesn't duck under closed letter gate. Alright. Alright, save that. Fiddle around some more because I can't end on a bookkeeping note. It was just terrible. So the other thing that is possible, it's a little bit hard, is to spell things vertically. And I'm going to play with that just a tiny bit. If I change this, it won't be nearly as good of a puzzle, but I'll change it. If I change this to be actually, I can make a decent puzzle. I know how to do it. Make it be B, B, A, or A, B, B. Okay, so I can do that. You gotta spell A, B, B. Yeah, so. Oh, what happened? It changed it back. Okay. Ah, screw it. I'll just spell Abba again since Davey's here. I'm about ready to quit the session. I gotta go run an errand. Okay. Davey, the way this works is that this will close if I spell the word on it. And I'll be able to walk across that translucent bridge to get to the bonus. Oh, I got it all set up already. And then if I disrupt the formation, then the gate will revert. It'll reopen. So yeah, that's it. And you actually were with me when I stopped short of demoing the gates earlier because there was some bug with it in the predictive logic, so I disabled it. But now I fixed the bugs. Now the letter gates are back. So yeah, I gotta take my son-in-law off to sign a lease on an apartment. But yeah, so I guess I'll see you later. Hope you're having a good evening. All right, see you, man.